arguably the largest attack point for probably any application, especially in the Kubernetes landscape, is authentication and authorization. So logging in, can this person log in? That's number one. Number two, and arguably most importantly, what can they do once they are logged in? So I came across this tool from Datadog, an open source solution called Managed Kubernetes Auditing Toolkit. And the gist here is, it says, identifying common security issues, but really what it comes down to, and by the way, this is just EKS at the moment, but it really comes down to authentication, authorization, and secrets. All right, so we could take a look here. Find role relationships works at analyzing both the IAM roles in the AWS account and the Kubernetes service accounts. So matching them as in finding the relationship. Okay. So I'm going to pull up VS Code here really quick. And the first thing that we'll do is, well, just take a look here. I'm on an EKS cluster as we speak. All right. 3 node 1.29. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to brew tap MCAT because I'm on a Mac. All right, I'll go ahead and I will install. All right, just run this, make sure it's all good. All right, beautiful. So now we can start, traversing here a little bit. Now notice again, available commands, it's just EKS right now. So if I run mkat EKS help, let's see what we got here. We got a couple of commands. Find role relationships, find relationships between your EKS service accounts and IAM roles. Pretty important. Find secrets, find hard-coded AKS secrets in your cluster, and test IMDS access. Test if your EKS cluster allows pod access to the IMDS. All right, and then let's kind of test out a couple of these here. So first things first, we will run mcat EKS find role relationships. This is a brand new EKS cluster, by the way, so there's literally nothing running. But let's see by default. Now, this is good. By default, we can see that no service accounts found that can assume AWS roles. Now, if I run kubectl get SA, all namespaces, there are a lot of service accounts here out of the box when EKS is deployed. So it's good to know that EKS is locking things down when it comes to a service account perspective out of the box. Now, the next thing that we'll do is mcat EKS find secrets. All right, and we can see no hard-coded secrets in our cluster. And we could do kubectl get secrets all namespaces. All right, now there are no secrets, but if there were, something would pop up. Obviously, we have 0 secrets here. But this is a pretty cool tool in terms of just getting some understanding of a security posture when it comes to service account to IAM roles, because that could be a huge thing. I mean, if you have an IAM role and you give it full admin access on accident or I don't know, maybe on purpose, and you tie that to a service account and that service account is used to, I don't know, deploy a pod, now there's full-blown admin permissions there, and that pod, that container inside of the pod can be used to traverse through Kubernetes, hit maybe one of the worker nodes, which is, your host, and have that open attack path there. So again, just a good open source tool to understand, to know for an EKS environment, just to understand your security configuration and your security posture overall.